Sir, noise is coming, sir. Unable to hear. Hello, sir. Sir, unable to hear. Sir, your voice not able to hear, sir.
The knowledge management blueprint is concerned with the design of knowledge management architecture and the IT infrastructure. To address the architecture's interoperability and scalability with the existing IT infrastructure, to finalize the scope of the knowledge management system and defining measurable outcomes, and to decide the system components such as user interface options, repositories, and tools. The key issues for blueprint are understanding the technical components of knowledge management system, integration and interoperability, position and scope of knowledge management system. And the next topic is components of knowledge management system. A knowledge management system must provide 4 sections which consisting of some measurable functions. Those are content storage, content search, content analysis, and content dissemination. As such, a knowledge management system in its initial stages can be broken into several sub-components such as repositories, collaborative platforms, networks, and culture. Repositories. An organizational memory or knowledge repository is a computer system that continuously captures and analyzes the knowledge assets of a particular organization. It is a collaborative system where people can query and browse both structured and unstructured information in order to retrieve and preserve organizational knowledge assets and facilitate collaborative working. Collaborative platforms, they support distributed work and incorporate pointers, skill databases, expert locators, and informal communication channels. Networks, they support communications and conversation. They include hard networks such as intranet and extranet, and soft networks such as shared spaces, industry forums, and trade nets. Culture. Culture is a way of living and encourages sharing of knowledge. Knowledge repositories. A knowledge platform may consist of several repositories, each with a structure that is appropriate to the particular content that is stored. A repository may contain the following elements: declarative knowledge, procedural knowledge, casual knowledge, and context. What declarative knowledge consisting and refers to? It refers to concepts, definitions, assumptions, and categories. Procedural knowledge refers to processes, sequence of events and actions. Casual knowledge refers to rationale for decisions and actions. Context refers to the circumstances in which decisions or actions occurred. A customer database in a knowledge repository of customer information and insights are electronic explicit knowledge. A library is a knowledge repository of books, physical explicit knowledge. A community of experts in the knowledge repository to tactic knowledge or experience. Means it consisting of declarative, procedural, and casual knowledge and context relating to knowledge repositories. And the second one is a collaborative platform. What this collaborative platform refers to? It refers to the communication network services and hardware provides the pipeline to enable the flow of expected knowledge. It empowers the user. The user can either search for content, the pull approach, or subscribe to content to automatically receive a push approach. The information is filtered in two ways, active and automated. To active filtering, users manually define filters and pointers to interesting content, whereas in automatic filtering, statistical algorithms make recommendations. Such recommendations will be based on users' personal preferences and content ratings. Integrative and interactive knowledge applications. Knowledge management system can be viewed from two angles of functionality, integrative and interactive. Both of them are simultaneously essential to provide a requisite broad set of knowledge processing and management capabilities. Integrative ability supports correlation of distributed knowledge repositories. It pulls the explicit and explicitly captured content. Explicated content is content that has been codified or formalized for storage in conventional repositories such as databases. Explicitly captured content may include content secured from an expert, means recording of a manager's talk. Example is recording a manager's talk or designer's vision of a product. Means an engineer is designing a semiconductor product that is relating to integrative and interactive knowledge application. The integrative component of knowledge management system provides key centripetal force for pulling together all explicated knowledge essence of a company. It helps users to critically evaluate and apply knowledge to new context. There will be sequential flow of knowledge from in and out. The interactive components of knowledge management system enable interaction among people and providing a basic channel for sharing tactic knowledge. It helps build content within the repositories as a byproduct of collaboration facilitated by it. Such interactive applications may be structured or unstructured. Means sometimes the application may be in a very systematic environment, sometimes in not systematic environment. The structured types of web-based forums and specialized discussion groups. The unstructured types are video conferencing tools. As interaction complexity rises, the challenge is to make the interactive component more social, cognitive, and behavioral. It should have the mechanical force relating to companies interested in developing knowledge management system, which have three options: build, buy, and outsource. Each one has its own merits, and companies may choose them based on their time and cost constraints. A brief description of the three approaches are given as follows: build, buy, and outsource. Build. An option is to build a system in-house. It can be done by using team members from the internal IT department and the end user community of knowledge workers for whom the system is being built. An external consultant may be added to strengthen the weaker expertise areas. Means in the building mechanisms, wherever the weaker area is there, some value addition support will be given, particularly in IT department related activities. And second constraint content will be buy. The second option is to buy an off-the-shelf solution sold by a consulting group and modify it to meet the needs of the company. Whatever the needs a particular company is having, that can be done using this second option. Third one is outsource. Companies lacking the time, expertise, and money to develop their own systems are turning to an application service provider that specializes in knowledge management. Many are finding outsourcing knowledge management is the fastest, most direct and usually least expensive way to enjoy benefits such as increased community, online information and exchange with respect to online collaboration. Means outsourcing the activities related to particularly service orientation in application areas that can be done as a integrated options of build by along with the outsource. A small company will have financial constraints and may choose to buy, whereas a large company may consider building a system from the scratch. Whatever may be the decision, it is important to consider the following technological requirements of knowledge management systems. Interoperability. Interoperability is the property that allows for the restricted sharing of resources between different systems. This can refer to the ability to share data between the particular entity. Next constraint is scalability. It's the ability to support a large number of users and robust industrial database. It is essential that the system is scalable well beyond the original level. The number of users increases. Performance. Attention should be paid to the performance-related factors such as time delays as usage grows, time for updates and inserts for new records in the database, and time delays for navigation between different parts of the interface. Developing the knowledge management system. Developing a knowledge management system is a complex task and requires a careful planning before selecting the tools for supporting the knowledge processes. The design system architecture should suit the organizational culture and business needs. Knowledge management system can be as simple as file folder until a complex business intelligence system is evolved. There are differences between architectures in terms of functions and services. Means to develop a very good knowledge management system, strong knowledge management system, efficient knowledge management systems, the functions and services are coordinated like a hidden tail of a coin in a balanced environment. Building blocks of knowledge management system. The construction and sustenance of knowledge management system requires a thorough understanding of the scope, design, implementation, and sustenance of each element of the system. A knowledge management system requires the complete and holistic integration of an organization's people, processes, and technology. An important aspect of setting up a knowledge management system is to understand that knowledge management extends beyond the creation and deployment of a software or platform. The building blocks of a knowledge management system include people and culture, process and life cycle, knowledge infrastructure, and technology. People and culture. The exchange of explicit and tacit knowledge depends on the willingness of an organization's employees to share this knowledge. The establishment of knowledge sharing culture is often the first and ongoing element of a good knowledge management system. The active involvement and cooperation of every group in an organization's structure is vital to creating communities of practice and encourage existing knowledge sharing practices. Process and life cycle. An organization identifies the people who will establish and use the knowledge management system. It's equally important to set up clear, unambiguous process that define the selection, organization, dissemination, transfer, and application of knowledge. These processes form the backbone of a good knowledge management system and enable planning, problem solving, decision making, exponential learning, as well as strategic and tactical implementation of several other systems relating to quality management system. Means with specific process and life cycle management, quality will be improved. Knowledge, infrastructure, and technology. The third building block in the establishment of knowledge management is to define and create the infrastructure and technology that enables people to share knowledge, capture and create knowledge repositories. These repositories make it easy to share data, processes, and best practices across the organization. Well-developed knowledge management software aids the propagation of a knowledge culture and provides the support required to implement a knowledge management process. Example is Divana's 7-layer knowledge management architecture, which consists of interface layer, access and authentication layer, collaborative intelligent and filtering, application layer, transport layer, and middleware and legacy integration layer. Developing a sustainable and competitive knowledge management system is not an easy task. Means it is not easy to develop a strong and very qualitative, sustainable and competitive knowledge management system. It requires so much of smart and hard work with a proper and systematic planning. It is important to prepare a blueprint of knowledge management system and then proceed to developing the actual system. The aims of the blueprint are to develop the key layers of the knowledge management architecture to meet the organization's requirements and to decide on system components such as user interface options, repositories, and tools. A knowledge management system must provide four functions: content storage, content search, content analysis, and content dissemination. Relating to integrated architecture, the subsequent challenges are those of defining and deploying an integrated architecture for making knowledge management happen across the organization and can broadly be categorized as those related to people, process, content, and technology. People, process, content, and technology will be taking into integrated environment. Next, content is information retrieval. A familiar cause of concentration for anybody who has searched for information on a particular topic is irrelevant. And the knowledge hierarchy, subscriptions, and attribute combination will be considering into integrated environment. Enhancing user loyalty. A sharing culture is achieved when knowledge sharing is driven by internal conviction of the part of each member of the organization. The journey The journey to this culture must happen in small steps and implementing knowledge management, which cannot be seen as one monolithic exercise. Linkage with common info tools and update content with both push and pull. Personalization, opinion poll on content and feedback mechanism. These are all relating to knowledge management system, making it into more qualitative and more systematized in real-time scenario. Next topic is knowledge management system testing and deployment. Means whenever the project content is made into systematic level, how to test and deploy the knowledge management system. In this one, we are having knowledge management system testing, approaches to logical testing, approaches to user acceptance testing, knowledge management system deployment, user training and deployment, prototyping, pilot deployment, pre-RDA deployment methods, RDA methodology, futures, key considerations, merits and demerits, post-implementation review. Knowledge management system testing. The primary goal of knowledge management system developer is to create systems with an built features capability and reliability. Capability refers to the ability to deliver solutions. The reliability refers to how well the system delivers the information or solution with consistency, accuracy, and integrity. Means here, consistency, accuracy, integrity plays a major role relating to knowledge management systems like our software testing with respect to manual testing or automated testing like Selenium. In manual testing, writing the test cases and developing the test cases and making into manual testing or automated testing. Similar here also related to knowledge management, the testing phenomena will be continued. Prior to deployment, it is important to test the system for verifying its functionality. Testing knowledge management systems calls for informal, subjective, time-consuming, and often arbitrary creation and execution of test cases. The testing involves the employment of two testing approaches, logical testing and user acceptance testing. There also will be there in manual testing in IT testing process. Logical testing, it is a process that analyzes the programmers and the relationship to one another. It removes errors, redundancy, and inconsistency in the programs. User acceptance testing, it is a process of evaluating how well the system is meeting user requirements. The key decisions in testing phase are the selection of testing criteria and tools. Some techniques work better than others depending upon knowledge management system and the evaluation criteria chosen by developer. Quality and quality assurance. Quality is meeting the requirement, expectation, and needs of the customer. It indicates that the system is free from defects, lacks, and substantial variance and conforms to standards. In the context of knowledge management system, quality refers to reasoning process that gives reliable and accurate solutions within the framework of the knowledge management system. Quality assurance, it's a proactive process. It focuses on preventing defect. It ensures that the approaches, techniques, methods, and processes designed in creating the system are followed. Approaches to logical testing. Logical testing ensures that the system produces correct results. Two approaches can be used to verify knowledge-based system. First one is verify knowledge-based information. Second one is verify knowledge-based functionality. Next topic is approaches to user acceptance testing. It is the second phase of testing phenomenon. User acceptance testing follows logical testing and checks systems behavior in a realistic environment. It focuses on verifying knowledge-based functionality. It is to see if it is satisfactory to users from that point of view of interactions and functionings of the system. Means the hierarchical steps in user acceptance testing are select a person or a team for testing, decide on user acceptance test criteria, test using cases, and record outcomes with respect to hierarchical step-by-step process which consisting of two errors, type 1 error and type 2 error. Type 1 error consisting of a rule that fails to fire when it is supposed to fire, and type 2 error refers to a rule that fires when it is not supposed to fire. Means the results are examined with those of an independent expert or panel of experts that solves the same problem. Next topic is knowledge management system deployment with some key issues. Deploying knowledge management means launching or updating one's knowledge management program. Deployment involves two aspects. Transfer of the knowledge management system as a technology from the knowledge developer to the operation unit, and transfer of systems skills from the knowledge developer to the operating persons in the organization. Key issues are, once the system is developed and fully tested, it is ready for physical transfer to the operating unit. Successful deployment depends on various factors that relate to the knowledge management system development and implementation. What are the key issues? Means knowledge management system appeal and the knowledge management user friendly of the system, which consisting of ease of access and guidance, documentation, ease of maintenance and system update. And the second content is people related factors, that is champion, management, support, users. In these, sometimes some issues may arise relating to attitude, innovativeness, and involvement of a particular person who is taking part in knowledge management process. And third one is organization related factors, which are making some issues sometimes. That is related to political, means political reasons, organizational climate. Sometimes it may go in a worse and bad environment also. Next one is organizational culture. Sometimes the culture will be in the low grade environment. And fourth one is process related factors which are relating to knowledge transfer, integration, and change management and maintenance. Knowledge transfer consisting of approaches which can be used to transfer knowledge management system technology in implementation. Knowledge management is actually transferred from the knowledge developer directly to the working unit in the organization. Means whoever the persons involved in that particular working unit will be taking care of that actual transferred knowledge which is developed by a particular person. Installing the system on the resident hardware along with documentation. In this approach, training is offered to users on operational and maintenance aspects of the system. One-time transfer that results permanent installation of the whole system on a specific day, and a gradual approach in which transfer is made over a period of time. When one phase of transfer is made, it is followed by sharing of training, methodologies, experiences, and various techniques. And next one is integration. A knowledge management system can be integrated with operations in an organization through four methods: technical integration, knowledge sharing integration, decision making, flow integration, and workflow engineering. Technical integration. Knowledge management implementation uses several common tools like internet and intranet, data warehouses, workflow tools, and online application processing tools. Management must decide the system's level of access in the network. For example, in an organization, low priority is given to LAN-based knowledge management system because the learning by employees was slow in the organization. Knowledge integration. It refers to making knowledge management system available to different units of organization through an appropriate network. Means networking between the people of various categories plays a major role, particularly the areas like knowledge management for integration of various knowledge-based activities. Decision-making flow integration. From the first day onwards, we are discussing what purpose this innovation in knowledge management we are discussing, particularly in business environment and business domain. That is to make a proper decision making, correct decision making with respect to correct person in right environment, correct time or correct environment. That only again we are discussing here. Decision making flow integration. It is the way in which functioning of knowledge management system matches with the user's style of thinking. Workflow reengineering. Knowledge management system implementation triggers changes in the workplace or within the domain of users. Change management. An optimistic expectation can be employees in this organization which open arms will welcome the knowledge management system. However, employees tend to resist change, especially when they are not aware of the system and its benefits relating to projection, avoidance, and aggregation. Next point is maintenance. Maintenance means the necessary corrections to the system to enable it to continuously meet the user expectations. Means whatever the expectations having by particular users that can be done with proper maintenance, meeting the knowledge in a particular organized environment and appointing a particular qualified person relating to that activity with good responsibility. Next content is user training and deployment. A major concern in system design and deployment is users, their ability to use the system. In the light of this, user training and deployment plays a key role. Training is an important activity in deployment as it equips users with the skills to use the system and generates favorable attitudes towards it. Content. The content of user training is influenced by the requirements of the knowledge management system. The requirements range from simple, user-friendly to advanced, which requires special training. A user-friendly knowledge management system is almost instructional with menu-driven features and easy to follow online and hard copy manuals. Duration. The duration of training is usually measured in hours to days. Level. The level of user training depends on the following factors: user's knowledge of knowledge-based system, complexity of the knowledge management system and user-friendly features, trainer's technical experience and communication skills, the environment where training is carried out. And the next content is budget. A training program naturally requires some money in the form of specified budget related activity. Next one is place. The location of training makes a difference. Means if it's a very good environment, good place, automatically the results will be, output will be in the encouraging environment. Next topic is prototyping, meaning merits and demerits. Deploying a new system in a learning experience, the knowledge management team can learn from the user's perception about the system, study its functionality, the suitability of the chosen interface, and discover the changes to be made. A prototype serves the purpose effectively. A prototype is a simple model of release of a product built to test a concept or process. Usually, prototype is not a complete system and many of the details are not built in it. The goal is to provide a system with overall functionality. Merits. Users will become aware of the system. They get a better understanding of the system being developed. Users can be involved by asking their feedback and suggestions. Users can identify confusing or difficult functions, errors in processes or outputs, and missing functionality. Developers will get a chance to give the system a test run even before the actual system is ready. They will have time to make changes before the full down with the blown system which is implemented at enterprise level. Sometimes user expectations may drive the project to expand beyond original plans and increase the complexity of the system. Sometimes it may lead to premature analysis in case a fully developed system works much better than a prototype. Next topic is pilot deployments. Pilot testing is done before deployment. It refers to pilot testing means taking some data and making it into a testing environment. After that, getting accurate results that can be applicable and applied to total data. It refers to testing by a select group of end users in a controlled environment. Always pilot testing can be done in very systematized and controlled environment to obtain a proper feedback mechanism about that particular product. Right pilot test helps understanding of the technology and its contribution to actual business value. To go for right pilot testing follows the guidelines given as follows: project, knowledge team, problem, duration, performance metrics. Pre-RDA deployment methods. Prior to results-driven incremental method, different approaches to system deployment and development may be tried. Some of the important approaches are waterfall model, information packaging methodology, and Big Bang approach, etc. Waterfall model. It is a pioneer of the software IT industry model, which is SDLC, System Development Lifecycle Process. In this method, development of one phase starts only when the previous phase is completed. Means after completion of total phase only, new phase will start in this waterfall model, and goals are automatically achieved with the success environment. Next, requirement analysis, design, implementation, testing, and deployment of the system with respect to the proper maintenance will be taken into consideration. It has some merits and demerits. Merits are it is easy to manage due to rigidity of the model and it works well for smaller projects. Mean this waterfall model will be used for only small methods, and that is the advantage in SDLC process, in particularly in the IT industry. Demerits are it has fallen out of the favor due to its rigidity and there is no scope for feedback mechanism. And next point is information packaging model. This is the next method after waterfall method. This is also known as a learning loop or spiral model, which is consisting of incremental interactive builds of the particular system. The software evolves through successive cycles for iterations, upgrading, and a full-fledged system. The whole requirement is decided with some build 1, build 2, and build 3 mechanism. Next one is identification of requirements. The phase which starts with gathering of a particular business requirement in a baseline environment. Next one is Bing Bang approach. In this approach, the delivery equals with proper implementation, with complete and avoids maintenance and support mechanism and successful implementation of ROI. With rigorous testing, careful implementation, and the risk is free. Enterprise integration, which consisting of system interconnectivity, real-time updates, and improving proper decision making. And ROI methodology features key consideration with proper merits and demerits. These methods are discussed with proper implementing of knowledge management system. With complex systems like knowledge management, which consisting of limitations of particular merits and demerits. Next one is features. Object-driven decision support, incremental and dependent results, software and organization measures, and intensive implementation schedules, and results-driven follow for that particular environment. And key considerations are taken into this aspect are RDA methodology, and which consisting of sequence, which is independent and evaluating the functionality. Next one is merits. User adaptation, phased data transfer, easy integration, and risk minimization. And demerits are frustration of testing, threat of obsolescence, and expensive. And post-implementation review or system evaluation, quality for decision making, attitude of end users, and cost of knowledge processing. And security considerations are the final consideration in security against the threat of hacking and unauthorized access. User with the correct code alone should be able to access that particular system. Summary: the knowledge management system development is not complete without testing its ability to accomplish the goals of a particular user acceptance. In this testing phase, the defects are identified and anomalies such as redundancy, ambivalence, and deficiencies are removed. Testing involves two approaches, logical and user acceptance. Logical testing ensures that the system produces correct results. User acceptance checks system behavior in a realistic environment to see if it is satisfactory to users from the point of view of interactions and results. Deploying knowledge management system, launching or updating one's knowledge management program. Deployment involves transfer of two aspects, transfer of system and operating skills. A prototype is the release of a product built to test a system's functionality. Prior to results driven incremental method, different approaches to system deployment, which can be taken with the results driven incrementalism, which can be a right choice in total knowledge management process implementation. The goal of implementation process is providing isolated, independent, and cumulative episodes of functionality and learning through incremental business which releases in a predetermined sequence. After the knowledge management system, which has been deployed, the post-implementation issues, the system evaluation and security measures will be taken into consideration. And with respect to this, we are completing the block 4, and in the next class we are continuing with the block 5, which is the last class and relating to the topic knowledge management practices. Kindly requesting respected sirs and madams, any queries, any questions, you can ask, you can unmute it, you can ask any queries, any questions. At least by tomorrow's class, please consider any queries, any questions, and before you are writing the final exam, 5 important questions will be given. And now any queries, any questions, kindly requesting to ask. After that, we are concluding for this class. ఓకే అండి, వీఆర్ కంక్లూడింగ్ ఫర్ టుడే అండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి, రెస్పెక్టెడ్ సార్స్ అండ్ మేడం. థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి.